Well, after a bitter contest, Liz Truss has been elected leader of Britain's Conservative Party and will become the UK's next Prime Minister. The announcement that Truss will be taking over follows 2 months of campaigning, sparked by the resignation of Prime Minister Boris Johnson. The British economy is set to be the new Prime Minister's most pressing task, with the UK facing a cost of living crisis and spiralling energy charges. We're going to get an update from our correspondent in London in just a moment. But first, let's take a closer look at the woman set to become Britain's new leader.
Liz Truss, the 47-year-old, won a Conservative seat in the British Parliament in 2010 on her third attempt. Since September 2021, she's been the UK Foreign Minister in the British government, although not without trouble. Humiliated in Moscow by her Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, who said it was like talking to a deaf person. She campaigned for Britain to remain in the EU in 2016, but since the vote to leave became a hardliner on Brexit. During this leadership campaign, she insulted the First Minister of Scotland and the French President. But Truss rejects accusations that she's modelled her style on former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. Before 1996, she was a prominent youth member of another British political party.
We Liberal Democrats believe in opportunity for all.
She switched, though, to the Conservative Party while still at university. On the ongoing cost of living crisis, Truss promises tax cuts, but insists there will be no handouts.
Barbara Vazel is our correspondent in London. Barbara, Truss certainly has a huge list of challenges ahead. What are the biggest issues she's going to be facing?
They're calling it here an omni-crisis because pretty much the whole economy is touched by what's happening here in Britain. It's a rampant inflation. It's an exploding gas price crisis. The NHS, the public health service, is close to final breakdown. There's strikes already underway from train drivers and more strikes in public service from public servants demanding higher salaries because of the inflation that's already hit 10% are threatened. This is going to be the big winter of discontent, the worst that Britain has seen in decades. And Liz Truss really has her hands full and a mountain to climb if she wants to sort of get over even the worst aspects of this omni-crisis.
So Truss taking office at a very difficult time. Has she said how she is going to deal with these problems?
She didn't really say very much. During the campaign that you refer to, she only talked about tax cuts. She says she doesn't believe in handouts. She doesn't want to give money to people. Everyone is responsible for him and herself. That's a classic Tory conservative ideology. But she wants to cut taxes, generate growth, and sort of try to grow the country out of this crisis. Now, this is a notion that many economists here say is quite nonsensical. They fear that this is rather going to heat up inflation further. Plus, tax cuts, of course, they are good for richer and a medium and better earning population, but they do absolutely nothing for the millions who are scraping along on minimum wage here in Britain. They really do need help. Heating or eating, that's what British papers are asking at the moment. And many people say if push comes to shove, probably we're not going to do either. Neither heat our houses, not have enough food to eat. So she really has a tremendous task, and we don't know exactly how she wants to deal with it and what she wants to do.
And another big issue for the new Prime Minister will be its neighbours in Europe. Relations between the UK and Brussels have been tense. Do you think that is going to change under Liz Truss?
It's if we're unlucky, it's going to change to the worse, because something that Liz Truss has on her inbox and on her list to do during the first weeks in office is she wants to strike down the Northern Ireland Protocol, the part of the Brexit contract. Now, that would mean that Brussels would really sort of finally get angry with Britain and sue the country probably, and maybe even enter into a full-grown trade war. Now, many people, of course, here are asking, is this the point of time where you really want to annoy your closest neighbors and get into those fights and battles with them about trade and about the Northern Irish Protocol? And but this is also part of her ideology. She has promised to the Tory party during that campaign that she is the most ardent Brexiteer, even harder than Boris Johnson, and she wants to go through with it. But as I said, we don't really know what she will do in practice. The campaigning is over. She is now voted into office, and she may as well have to be much more pragmatic than she has foreseen during the last 2 months.
Our correspondent Barbara Faisal for us in London. Thanks so much for that.